Chaos erupts the moment Byron Donalds tries to speak. Democrats scream points of order. The chair bangs a gavel, and the whole room melts down. But that's when the real bombshells drop. Screens light up with charts, text messages, and Hunter Biden's own words. Suddenly, the committee is dead silent as Donalds exposes red flag shell companies, suspicious ownership swaps, and messages pointing straight toward Joe Biden. And just when Democrats think they can spin it, AOC steps in and accidentally detonates the hearing even worse.
When your time is,
I have to introduce something by
recognizes
unanimous
Mr. Donalds
consent.
for 5 minutes.
Is it being introduced?
Chair recognizes Mr. Donalds for 5 minutes. Byron, it's your
Chairman,
time.
the rules require you
Thank
to
you, Mr.
recognize
Chairman.
me.
No.
Yes, for a point of order, they absolutely do.
Chair recognizes
and you have to rule
Mr.
on
Donalds.
the motion.
And is
You've
Mr.
already
Donald's
made
time
2
ticking
points of
too?
order.
No,
Chair
Mr. Donald's
recognizes
time
Mr.
is not going
Donalds.
to take. Actually, Mr. Chairman, I request this clock be set back to 5 minutes.
Set
so we
the
can.
clock back to 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, can I just make a parliamentary inquiry then? Are we not to make points of order on either side during
You
the
keep
questioning?
speaking about no evidence. Why don't you all just listen and
I'm trying to introduce evidence.
You've already had your
Is it in?
share of evidence.
Are you
Now,
admitting
Mr. Donalds, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Dubinsky, I want to come to you quickly. A lot of talk about evidence. On the screens in the room, we have an organizational chart from the IRS investigative team that was looking into the business practices of Hunter Biden and his associates. This org chart is from 2014. Now, Mr. Dubinsky, in my former life, I was in community banking, and I'm comfortable with looking at organizational charts. When I first saw this chart, the first thing I thought about was a real estate holding company or a developer, and this is not to demean developers in the great east state of America, but developers typically have multiple companies that float with various business interests and business lines. But the funny thing is that in the business dealings of Hunter Biden, there is no real estate. None at all. So, Mr. Dubinsky, in your professional experience, looking at this organizational chart of business structure, what do you see here?
I see a very complicated structure of entities that are interrelated and would give me concern. If I were an investigator, I would want to know what's going on in these entities, who's behind them, how's the money moving between them, and what is the substance of the transactions? What's really going on here?
Mr. Dubinsky, do you think it's in the interest of this committee that is now in an inquiry phase to actually find out all of the flow of money between these entities and what the purpose was?
Absolutely.
Next slide, please. For my colleagues on the other side, we're going to start talking evidence now. This is now a slide of the organizational chart of the Hunter Biden business companies and with associates from 2018, from the same IRS investigators who broke down the business structure in 2014. Does this slide cause you the same concern, Mr. Dubinsky?
Yes, it does.
Okay, now let's talk about some more. Actually, one point I want to make on this. Ladies and gentlemen, and I know it's kind of small, so I will submit all this for the record. I would love my colleagues on the other side to see this. In 2014, one of the key owners was Devin Archer, who did testify, was under deposition under oath by the Oversight Committee. In 2018, Devin Archer is no longer listed, but his wife, Krista Archer, is now listed. Mr. Dubinsky, when you see a situation where ownership interest moves from one spouse to the other, is that a concern of some level of fraud potentially?
I would call it a red flag. That's something I would look at and again, try to get to the bottom of what happened there. Was it just transferred? Was there money behind it? What was going on?
Okay, thank you. Next slide. Now, this is to a text message. This is a text message between, it's going to Naomi Biden. That's what this one is. Hold on, wait, so let me get my stuff back. There we go. Sorry. This is the WhatsApp text message between Jim Biden and Hunter Biden. In this text message, it clearly says, anyway, we can talk later, but you've been drawn into something purely for the purpose of protecting Dad. This is between Hunter Biden and Jim Biden. Last time I checked, the father of Jim Biden and Joe Biden is now passed away. So I'm assuming this is Hunter Biden saying to Jim Biden, the president's brother, that you've been brought in this for the sole purpose of protecting Dad. Miss O'Connor, do you think that this text message would lead this committee to get further information about the business dealings of Hunter Biden and how that actually links to Jim Biden, the president's brother, and why they are so concerned with protecting Dad, a.k.a. Joe Biden, a.k.a. the president of the United States?
Yes.
Thank you. Next slide, please. This is a text message between Hunter Biden and Naomi Biden. And this one is a famous one. Everybody knows this one. This is a famous one that says, I hope you all do what I did and pay for everything for this entire family for 30 years. It's really hard. But don't worry, unlike Pop, I won't make you give me half your salary. Mr. Dubinsky, if you saw a text message like this in a potential money laundering operation or a potential pay-for-play operation, would you be looking for information related to money going from son to father?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Thank you. Next slide. Oh, this is a fun one. Ladies and gentlemen, this one is from 2018. This is about 4 months before Joe Biden launched his campaign for president of the United States, December 2018. The highlight is, this is a text message between Jim Biden and Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden was in a bad way, by the way. He was really strung out. He lost a bunch of money. He needed help. Jim Biden says, this can work. You need a safe harbor. I can work with your father alone. It'll probably take several months and everybody can read the text. Ms. O'Connor, Mr. Dubinsky, if you saw a text message like this between the president's brother and the president's son, wouldn't you be concerned about them trying to give plausible deniability for the president of the United States to not have any knowledge of said business dealings?
It's worth. Gentleman's time's expired, but please answer the question.
It's worth investigating.
Mr. Dubinsky?
I would agree. I would investigate this.
I yield back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman yields back. Before I recognize Mr. Christian Morte, Mr. Goldman, I will give you an opportunity to quickly recognize you for your point of order.
I just want to make sure that page 131 of the transcript of the Devon Archer interview is entered into the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
Serious. And the prospect of impeachment is also a gravely serious matter, which has been echoed by our witnesses today. And any serious impeachment investigation or inquiry relies on firsthand sworn testimony of witnesses to high crimes or misdemeanors. Today, the Republican majority has called in 3 witnesses to advance their case. Mr. Turley, I have a simple question for you. In your testimony today, are you presenting any firsthand witness account of crimes committed by the President of the United States?
No, I'm not.
No, you are not. Ms. O'Connor, you are the second Republican witness here today. Have you, in your testimony, presented any firsthand witness account of crimes committed by the President of the United States?
I have not.
Thank you. And now, Mr. Dubinsky, as the third and final Republican witness in this hearing, have you, in your testimony, presented any firsthand witness account of crimes committed by the President of the United States?
I have not.
And Professor Gerhardt, given that you are the minority witness, I assume the same, correct?
I am not a fact witness, correct.
Thank you. And to clarify, 2 individuals presented today who do have firsthand accounts surrounding the progeny of these allegations are being blocked from testifying by the Republican majority. And I want to explain why this is important. Members of Congress, all of us in this hearing, are not under oath, as we are presently covered by the speech and debate clause. Isn't that correct, Professor Gerhardt?
That is correct.
And the speech and debate clause covers all statements by a member of Congress, whether they are factual or not. There are only 4 people in this room that are presently under oath in their testimony. And those are the 4 witnesses here today. Is that correct, Professor Gerhardt?
That is correct.
And so the direct testimony of the 4 individual witnesses here today are the bona fide words that this committee must use in order to proceed or substantiate an investigation. And I want to emphasize why that's important. Earlier today, one of our colleagues, a gentleman from Florida, presented up on this screen something that appeared to be a screenshot of a text message containing or insinuating an explosive allegation. That screenshot of what appeared to be a text message was a fabricated image. It was a fabricated image. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it was the staff of the committee, but it was not the actual direct screenshot from that phone. And in fact, I would like to submit to the committee the actual full context from the Ziegler Affidavit number 1, Exhibit 402, of the full text of that exchange. Do I have permission from the chair? Importantly, what was brought out from that fabricated image excluded critical context that changed the underlying meaning and allegation that was presented up on that screen by this committee and by members of this committee. Now, they are well within their right to do that because they are covered by the speech and debate clause. This was not submitted by a material or fact witness under oath. That was not submitted by a material or fact witness under oath. The impeachment inquiry, any impeachment inquiry, regardless of party, is an extremely serious matter. Professor Gerhardt, in the impeachment inquiry into President Clinton, were there key fact witnesses that were presented during those proceedings?
They were not in the House.
Mm-hmm. In the Senate, were there any?
There were.
There were in the Senate. Now, in the impeachment investigations with respect to President Trump, were there key material fact witnesses in the House?
Yes, ma'am.
There were. Are there any key material fact witnesses here today?
No, ma'am.
None. And so we are wasting our time. When we talk about a threshold of an impeachment inquiry, was there a House floor vote that had a majority of members of Congress that opened an impeachment inquiry into President Clinton?
There was.
There was. Was there a full House floor vote opening an impeachment inquiry into President Trump?
In 2019.
Is there one here for this one?
Not for this one.
There is not one here for this one. This is an embarrassment to the time and people of this country. And I would ask that the chair and I would ask that this committee elevate to the promise of our duties here and comport ourselves with the consistency and practice that is required of our seats and our duty and our oath to our responsibilities here. And with that, I yield back. Thank
Chair
you.
recognizes Mr. Goffin for 5 minutes from Wisconsin.
Stepping into that hearing room felt like walking straight into a circus tent. Democrats already yelling, interrupting, and throwing every procedural tantrum imaginable just to stop Byron Donalds from speaking. The second the chairman tried to recognize him, the left side of the room practically combusted. Points of order flying, voices clashing, the committee melting down before our eyes. And every second of that chaos told the same story. They were terrified of what was about to be exposed. Donalds finally gets his time, and the room shifts. Screens come alive with the IRS-built organizational charts, the 2014 Hunter Biden business web. And from the moment those charts went up, it was obvious this wasn't a business. This was a maze. Shell companies layered inside each other, moving money in ways that looked like anything but legitimate enterprise. The IRS investigators themselves treated it like a money laundering puzzle. Then the 2018 chart goes up, and suddenly it's even worse. Devin Archer? Gone. But magically his wife becomes an owner. The witnesses don't even flinch. Yes, that's a fraud red flag. Ownership swapping between spouses isn't normal. It's what people do when they're trying to bury a trail. Before Democrats can even reload their complaints, the next slide hits. The text messages. Hunter Biden telling Jim Biden that he was drawn into something purely for the purpose of protecting Dad. Jim Biden's dad is dead. That means just one thing. Hunter is referring to Joe Biden, the sitting president, the person they all swear has no ties to any Biden business scheme. More messages come in. The infamous, "I won't make you give me half your salary" like pop text. And seeing that text displayed in a congressional hearing hits differently. Every witness is blunt. Yes, in any money laundering or pay-for-play investigation, that message would trigger an immediate hunt for cash flowing from son to father. Exactly what Democrats insist never happened. Then the room goes stone silent. Up pops the December 2018 message, just months before Joe Biden ran for president, where Jim Biden tells Hunter he can work with your father to create a safe harbor to take months to help him hide the fallout. And when Donalds asks if it looks like they're trying to give Joe Biden plausible deniability, the witnesses don't hesitate. Yes, investigate it. By the time Donalds yields back, Democrats realize the damage is already done. So they try to salvage it with AOC leading the cleanup crew. She launches into her speech about no first-hand evidence. She drags each witness into confirming they didn't personally witness Joe Biden commit a crime. The witnesses agree. But what she doesn't mention, because she can't, is that the first-hand witnesses have been blocked by Democrats and the White House themselves. Then she swings for drama and claims one of the text screenshots Donalds displayed is fabricated. She waves around affidavits, declarations, and tries to pivot the entire hearing into a procedural lecture about how impeachment inquiries should look, reminding everyone that Clinton and Trump both had floor votes and fact witnesses. But the more she talks, the worse it gets for her side, because she accidentally exposes the real problem. This inquiry has no first-hand witnesses, because Democrats have spent months blocking them. No floor vote, because Democrats scream the moment it's mentioned. No evidence, because the people holding the evidence are being shielded. Everything she says ends up highlighting the very cover-up she claims doesn't exist. By the end of the hearing, the contrast couldn't be sharper. Republicans laid out charts, text messages, ownership swaps, and financial red flags that scream corruption. Democrats responded with procedural rage, excuses, and attempts to bury the witness list. The meltdown didn't hide the truth. It confirmed it. And every second of that hearing showed why the Biden family panic is growing by the day.